Okay, we are returning from our executive session. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Next on the agenda, I need an approval of the board agenda for this evening.
So moved.
Thank you. Thank you. Any discussion? Mr. Frazier?
Mr. Davidson?
Yes.
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Mrs. Baker?
Yes. Okay. Next is the approval of minutes from the past meeting. Any motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Mr. Frazier, any discussion? Mr. Frazier?
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Davidson?
Yes.
Okay. City Council. Okay. We're at the public participation section of our agenda, and I believe we have two people that want to speak publicly tonight. And I think they gave you the rules or the policy of the board. So first, I would like to call Mr. Knight. If you could please come to the podium, state your name and address, please, sir.
Robert Knight, 418 Walnut Street, Hamilton, Ohio.
Thank you.
I've let you know a little about myself. I've been a volunteer working with kids for over 50 years. From junior achievement to 4-H, Girl Scout, Boy Scouts, and a lot of work in the community center. I look at our teenagers today and how they think and the shootings that's going on in schools. Right now, thank God, it hasn't happened here in Hamilton. But you see right now, some schools are talking about having the teachers bring guns. And keep this in mind. When a person's in a state of mind they want to kill somebody, they will hit their teacher upside their head and take their gun. They never thought about that. So always think about what could happen. And then also I've thought about this too. Why not have assemblies to talk to kids about what happens when you go to prison? Look what you do to yourself. They haven't thought about that. We tell kids you can't go to McDonald's. You can't go to your mother's funeral, okay? And when you go to the restroom, you can't close the door and wipe your behind in privacy. They laugh at that a little bit. But we all get mad. And we was young, they told us this. They talked about Jesus Christ. You know they're going to talk about you. And we also tell kids this too. When people talk about you, about how you look and stuff, tell them this. Hey, man, I'm trying to make you look good. Everything changes because they know that you're upset, they're going to keep coming at you. But right now, Hamilton, we're blessed, but things are getting bad all over. I talk to different people in different places of what teenagers are doing. And the main one of the worst mistakes America made is when they changed the dress code. Because you dress like a thug, you're going to act like a thug. And that has really gone way out of control. But thank God we haven't had problems here in Hamilton. But having assemblies talking to kids and say, look what you do to yourself when you kill somebody and go to prison. A few months ago, they arrested these two guys that killed this woman 50 years ago, cold cases. You never can tell what may happen. So sit back and relax because you can move beyond this, get the best grades you can get. And then you hear about people from Hamilton, what they have achieved. In 2005, I went to Israel, stayed 1 month. I was only able to go there for one simple reason, only because I dated a smart woman out of the Hamilton school system, and she got education. Let them know what places you can go, things you can do other than being on the streets in Hamilton. And they need to know this, because that's one thing we emphasize to kids when we work with Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts and at the center. Look what you can achieve with that education. Look where you can go. Pull your pants up. Get A's and B's. Do you want to ride a bicycle for the rest of your life, or do you want to drive a car? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. I think you should be a motivational speaker for us, actually. Thank you, and thank you for what you've done for children through the years. Okay. Ms. McAbee.
Hi, I put my notes on my computer today, so. I'm Katie McAbee. I'm the president of HCTA. Our address is 633 High Street, Suite 201, Hamilton, Ohio, 45011. So I just wanted to take a minute to update the board and everyone here that on April 10th, HCTA invited 2 citizens to our monthly building rep meeting. We were very excited to have Mr. Davison and Dr. Copas join us for our meeting. Our members provided updates and positive things that were happening in each of our buildings. The things that were shared may or may not have been shared by administrators in their presentations up here. Some of these things included all of the incentive programs going on around our elementaries surrounding testing, the Linden Food Hub, the support that has been provided to staff and students, as well as other members across our district. When there's a loss of a student, that was very appreciated across everybody. That led to a bigger discussion. The staff in the buildings coming together to support the members that are sick with serious illnesses, fundraisers for them, and just the overall sense of caring amongst just staff taking care of each other. One thing that was brought up was Bridgeport was able to raise over $700 for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society through one of their incentive programs at school. Another thing was the successful building events that the teachers have had because of the volunteers from the teachers' time to run those events in their buildings. So we really felt this was a positive discussion. It was helped to build relationships and help build bridges. So we would like to see more of this continue. So I don't know if things were shared with the other board members. They did not come representing the board, but we did share just some thoughts and ideas. And again, it was just a nice discussion, and I thought overall it did go very well. An update on our Caring Closet Fund Drive. We raised over 400 items to donate to the Caring Closet for our Bare Necessities campaign. And then finally, this week and next week, and I think the following week too, we're providing lunch to all of our members in all of our buildings. We have 4 food trucks that are going to the buildings, and HCTA has bought lunch for all of the members to celebrate Teacher Appreciation and Wellness. So, and Teacher Appreciation Week is May 6th through the 10th. So we encourage everyone to celebrate all the great things that all educators, big and small, do every day for each other and for our students.
Thank you.
Katie, thank you for the invitation,
Oh, you're welcome.
and it was a very positive.
I thought it was
Hear
too.
all the great things going on in the buildings, and I think every teacher raved about their principal too.
They
So,
did. There were lots of good things said about the administrators, so very
Thank you.
positive. Thank you.
All right. Next, Mr. Holbrook.
Thank you, President Baker. Since the beginning of April, we have had a very busy time here in Hamilton. And I just want to highlight some of the things that I've been able to attend and some upcoming events over the next several weeks that we're going to have. First of all is that we are continuing with state testing through the month of April and then early in May, and so that is continuing in all our buildings at various degrees depending on grade level and test. I had the opportunity to attend a city meeting on bringing Amtrak, and that's a really exciting potential project to Hamilton, and the impact that it would have on the city I think would be something that we can't measure. And so I know that that's still in the works, but Mrs. Blevins and I and Mr. Frazier did have an opportunity to attend that meeting through the chamber. I also had an opportunity last week to attend our Top Scholars program, and we had our top 20 students recognized along with our valedictorian and salutatorian, and it was a great event by all, just a great group of young people that we're going to lose at the end of this year to graduation, but I'm certain they're going to make us proud in the community with what they do with their future. Yesterday, I did get an opportunity to attend 2 different events. The student-athlete signing, where we had 3 young people signing to continue their athletic careers at various colleges and universities. And I also got to attend probably one of my favorite events is our military recognition signing. And we had representatives from several offices, both at the state and national level, in attendance at that meeting, and it's quite a commitment that these young people are stepping into, and we should all be very, very proud and grateful for them. And then finally, I do want to remind everyone that May 14th, we do have graduation scheduled at 7:30, and that is going to be coming up rather quickly. So we're excited to do that. It is in the stadium again this year. That has worked out great for parents. Locally, folks can go out and eat beforehand in Hamilton, and it's right here in our hometown. And so that is my update for this evening, President Baker.
Beautiful night.
Yes, it is.
That's correct. No, yeah, I won't even say it. Thank you, Mr. Holbrook. Okay, next is some board policies that I believe were sent out, and everybody had a chance to review those.
Would make a motion that we adopt these policies.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Frazier?
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Davidson?
Yes.
Okay. Next is Human Resources.
And Mrs. Baker, this will be 2 separate votes, one for vote 7A and one for 7B.
Right. So we need an approval as soon as I have this pulled up. I believe this is the memorandum of understanding to,
The first one, 7A, has a memorandum of understanding with HCTA.
Yes.
On some adjustments with salary. We also have the supplemental salary scale on there with that is with HCTA. We have administrative and executive secretaries, and also our miscellaneous salary scale for consideration this evening.
okay. All right. I need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Any discussion? Mr. Frazier?
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Davidson?
Abstain?
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Okay. Next is another separate agenda for Human Resources. I need a motion to accept that.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Second it?
Thank you. Any discussion? Frazier?
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Davidson?
Yes.
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Okay.
President Baker, before we move on to the consent agenda, I want to interject. Mr. Brad Watkins was just hired as our Executive Director of
Yes.
Special Ed, and he's in the audience tonight. Brad, could you get up and introduce yourself to the board and tell us maybe a little bit about yourself?
Sure.
You are on TV. I just want
am.
you to know that.
Hi, everybody. Hi, my name is Brad Watkins. Proud Hamilton resident. I guess I could say 730 Sanders Drive, 45013, if that works. No, in all seriousness, I'm a proud graduate of Hamilton High School, class of 2002. Started my career in Hamilton City Schools as a special education teacher in 2006 at Wilson Middle School. Had a lot of who I am and what I do lies within Hamilton City School District and the city of Hamilton. So I am humbled and honored to be able to come back to Hamilton City Schools and to serve this community, to serve this district, and to serve our students. So truly excited for the opportunity to kind of reconnect with some familiar faces. Certainly excited to connect with new ones, and I'm most excited to get to work. So looking forward to going on this journey, and thank you for the opportunity.
Brad, welcome to Hamilton, and we'll get you to work. I can promise you that.
I figured as much. I do want to say thank you to Mr. Holbrook, Mr. Wright, Ms. Blevins. Just a wonderful process going through the interview process. There's a lot of vetting on both sides, and rightfully so. And the district that I'm returning to is quite different and in an exciting way. A lot of great things are going on right now. Sometimes when you get in these situations, you're a little too close to things, but I can tell you from an outsider coming back in and a community member, I'm excited for the direction this district's taking, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So thank you.
Well, we look forward to you getting to work, working with our students and teachers and administrators, and we're just excited to have you aboard. Welcome, Brad.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Watkins. Welcome back. All right. Next, we have our consent agenda. I need a motion.
I would move that we adopt the consent agenda.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mr. Frazier?
Mr. Davidson?
Yes.
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Mrs. Baker?
Yes. Next, the finance agenda. Mr. Frazier?
Thank you, President Baker. We have a few items up for your consideration this evening. We have the normal treasurer reports, which consist of the cash position, cash flow analysis, and the cash reconciliation for the month of March. We also have a large contract, which is for the Butler County Educational Services Center. It's an annual contract that we approve. Most of the items on there are special ed items, OT, PT, audiology, speech, and those types of services, and we rely on the Butler County Educational Service Center for those. We have 2 confirming purchase orders this evening, and we have 3 donations, 2 from the Coach Tim Reed Legacy Fund to Hamilton High School Athletics, and a book donation to Hamilton City Schools from Kathy Klink. And those are my items for this evening.
Thank you. Need a motion?
I'll move that we approve the finance committee, or agenda.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Mr. Frazier?
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Davidson?
Yes.
Okay. We're at the end of our agenda, and our next meeting will be here at the board office, Thursday, May 9th at 4 o'clock. I believe that will be a work session. Okay, thank you. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.